Hi, and welcome back to my video blog. Lucky for you, I have recently acquired some basic video editing skills, so these will be a little easier to watch and perhaps my points easier to follow. Today, we're going to touch on another hot button topic that tends to drive me up the wall. So, get ready, buckle your seatbelts, and here we go on. That's right, illegal immigration. Let's start with the basics, the words themselves. Illegal and immigration. Immigration is when someone relocates from one place to another to live, work, etc. Illegal means in violation of the law. There is a reason we have laws regulating immigration into the United States, therefore our protection. And if someone has crossed into this country illegally, it means they have already shown a blatant disregard for the laws of our land. Is that really the best way to convince us that you're just here to make an honest living? Now you have to stop and consider the enormous cost illegal immigration has for the American taxpayer. According to the Federation for American Immigration Reform, or FAIR, illegal immigration costs us over $100 billion a year. This goes towards feeding and housing illegal immigrants, it goes towards educating them, and it goes towards their health care. It even goes towards the cost of keeping them in our prison facilities. Since according to our laws, they weren't even supposed to be here, that's a great deal of extra money that could have been spent elsewhere, such as educating our own people, or working on the national deficit, for instance. When you think about things like amnesty for illegal immigrants and the DREAM Act, which would enable an easier way for their children to attain citizenship, you need to stop and realize what a spit in the eye that is for anyone who bothered to come here legally. There is a specific process for getting citizenship to the United States, one that a lot of people put a lot of painstaking effort into, so that they could legitimately call themselves American. Not Mexicans, not Panamanians, not Germans, not British, Americans. In fact, some of the most enthusiastic supporters of a strong border are those who came here legally. Shakil Hamid, originally from Bangladesh, says these people are taking seats in college away from our kids. Why should we reward their dishonest behavior? Anuchit Washira Punya, originally from Thailand, says I did the full legal process. The illegal students have no right to work or stay here. And before you think I'm going to skip the Latino quotes and call me a racist for it, Ana Gaines, originally from Mexico, says it's wrong for somebody to get amnesty. It's wrong for somebody to get a free pass because they're already here, because they already have children. And Carlos Cardenas from Panama says it's a violation of the law and it needs to be dealt with accordingly. No one is saying that the process to become a citizen is perfect. We all know it needs fixing. However, certain parts of that process do make a lot of sense. It stands to reason that anyone wanting to enter the U.S. needs to understand what it means to be an American, to understand our history, laws, and yes, our language. The naturalization process includes classes for that very reason. Finally, any legal immigrant has to take an oath designed to extract from them the promise to protect their new homeland and assure us of their good intentions. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or a citizen. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by law. That I will perform noncombatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by law. That I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, so help me God. Notice a theme here? When required by law. And illegal immigrants have proven already they don't care about our laws because they came into this country illegally. Not to mention, any practice which encourages the use of your children like a tool to get what you want, I find completely despicable. I am, of course, referring to anchor babies. The practice of coming here stateside, pregnant, and giving birth on U.S. soil, then wailing, "I cannot be separated from my child. I just came here to give them a better life." I've got an answer to that one. We should give them a choice. Any illegal immigrant who gives birth on U.S. soil should either A, take the child back where they came from and start over again, try to do this right, or B, give the child up for adoption stateside. There are many, many childless couples out there who long for someone to love and raise and cannot conceive themselves. Believe it or not, illegal immigration is not a victimless crime, nor is it as benign as a lot of people would have us believe. According to Illegal Alien Crime Wave in Full Swing, in April 2005, the Government Accountability Office released a report on a study of 55,322 illegal aliens incarcerated in federal, state, and local facilities during 2003. This is what they found. 49% had previously been convicted of a felony, 20% of a drug offense, 18% of a violent offense, and 11% other felony offenses. 81% of the arrests occurred after 1990. 56% of those charged with a re-entry offense had previously been convicted on at least 5 prior occasions. And defendants charged with unlawful re-entry had the most extensive criminal histories. 90% had been previously arrested. Of those with a prior arrest, 50% had been arrested for violent or drug-related felony. When you think about all the problems illegal immigration brings with it, how can we justify being soft? It's not out of cruelty that I protest it. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't bring anything good. Illegal immigration brings with it crime because it is in its nature criminal. It brings violent crime. It brings a massive increase in drug trafficking, even the domestic violence scene. We don't have accurate numbers on that because can you imagine being the victim of abuse and unable to report it to the police because of fear of being kicked out of your home? There's no easy answer to the problem of illegal immigration. I know this, and I acknowledge it. But the fact of the matter is something needs to be done, and it does not need to be encouraging them to continue breaking our rules and rewarding them for it. At any rate, I've probably gone on with this video for far too long, so hopefully that will help give you something to think about. I know it has given me a lot to think about, and why illegal immigration is a very serious issue.